and welcome to today's live stream. We are deep diving into importing some files today, so it's going to be a very dynamic, exciting session. Let me show you what we've got planned for today. So we're going to be on one of our deep dives, and this is the third in the deep dive series, I suppose. We've already completed a bit of a run through of how consonance works, and now we're into the phase where we're diving in deeply into each section of consonants as we see fit. Exciting news just in, we have had some special requests from a treasured client for some particular topics, so we're going to schedule those in. It's really nice to hear. So don't let the schedule get too full. If you've got any thoughts of particular topics that you'd like us to cover in these live stream sessions, then please do let us know. Before I cut you off badly at the end of this session, don't forget to like and subscribe. Liking for vanity, subscribing so that you get notifications of these videos that are coming out every week, because you never know, it might be just the thing you need to make your experience in consonants that week even better. So definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you get an email saying something's happening this week. So where are we? We have looked at 3 of the areas in the Consonance 101 area on our marketing website. So the first few sessions in this course were going through the process of getting a book from soup to nuts. Now we are looking at the articles that we already have on our website, and these videos are to enhance the information that's written down there. So we've already looked at adding new works and products. Last week we looked at importing data from spreadsheets, and we focused solely on importing prices from a spreadsheet. This week we are looking at importing image and content files, which are another sort of type of data that of course we need to get into consonants, and there are a number of different ways to do it. We're going to be looking at the way through the interface that is provided for bulk uploads. So it'll be exciting to dive in and have a look at that. We're going to be looking at the documentation that is available, because I don't want you to have to listen to me monologuing for an hour to get the information that you need. So there's plenty of written documentation that you can access in the moment. We will look at the sort of files that we're talking about today, and I won't preamble it too much. We'll go through the sort of files that are ideal for this way of getting data in. Then we'll do an import and we'll see what happens. Then we'll have a look through the system to see what has happened to those files. Where do we find them after they've been uploaded? So we'll look at them on the work, and I'll reinforce some of the information that's written down in the documentation about what will happen when you've uploaded, for instance, some cover files. Because it's one of those things with great power, etc. So if you can upload things in batch, you can also we need to make sure that you know what's going to happen to those files after they have been uploaded. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get you over to our application, and we are, as ever, looking at our account on Consonance. It's a pretend publisher, but this is the real Consonance. Our pretend publisher is Feline Press, press dedicated solely to the publication of books about cats. And today we're going to be looking in the file exchange area for the file uploader link. So if you can see over on the left there, we've got data exchange and file uploader. So I'm going to click on that, and we're going to go to this page, and it says to get started, select files to upload or drag and drop files here. We can also see this button in the top right, and this is going to give us some information about some of the, well, again, I don't want to sort of explain it to you, just read it off the screen, but I do want you to know that this information is here so that when you're in the moment, you can look at this rather than having to riffle through YouTube to find me reading it to you. So let's have a look what it says. It gives you an idea about what this page is about, and it says, what do I upload here? And straight out the bat, we're saying This page is for content and artwork files. So we're not talking about contract attachments, we're not talking about sales imports, we're not talking about anything except content and artwork files. And we have a page specially for those because they tend to be the sort of files that one does have a huge folder full of that comes in. You know, you do need to get 100 cover JPEGs uploaded at once. And it would be a painful experience indeed to have to go to 100 different pages in Consonance and carefully, upload each one. So that's what this page is for the efficient batch upload of content and artwork files. And then we go on to say a little more, upload non-content files such as contract PDFs to the contract directly, and go to imports to upload Excel files whose data is to be saved in Consonance. You'll recall from last week that we looked at that. Let's just really quickly go over to where the instructions are telling us to go. Consonance is a website. If something looks like a link, it is a link. I'm going to follow that link. I can use the browser tools that are available to me to open the link in a new tab, like on all websites. And there is the other import page that we've been looking at. In fact, look, there's the template from last week, the prices template. And one would click on new import. There's the prices. You could do products and royalties and so forth. So if you've got tabular data that exists in a spreadsheet type of a format, this is the place for you. If you've got content and artwork files, this is the place for you. Data exchange file uploader. So a little bit of explanation next on our documentation here about how the uploader works. And it says the code is going to assume that if you're uploading a PDF with an ebook ISBN in the file name, there is an assumption that that would be a live public ebook. So again, it's great that you can upload your ebook straight to Consonance, and Consonance is going to map your file to the corresponding record that's got that ISBN. I'm sort of trying to paint a generally, troubling picture of, what if you do it wrong? But, what if you do it right? That's also good. So just be aware that the system assumes that if you are uploading a PDF with an ebook ISBN in the file name, it will be a live public ebook. These files can and will be included in your data feeds. So take extra care if you are uploading PDFs. And then again, upload non-ebook PDFs such as contract files to the contract directly. So just, it's that old measure twice, cut once rule, isn't it? If you've taken on a new imprint, you've acquired a new imprint, or you've decided to strike up a new deal with an ebook aggregator, and they need their file sending, and you've decided this is the time where you're going to get your assets in order and you're going to batch upload everything to Consonance. What you need to do is get the ISBN 13, that 13-digit number, into the file name, and then you can use this tool to drag and drop all of those files in. It is quite joyful when you see computers hard at work doing the laborious stuff for you, but just be aware that that's going to work, I suppose, is what I'm cautioning you. This is going to work, and you're going to have your ebooks associated with the works, the products where the ISBN matches, and then if your Onyx feeds are set up to go out, then those are the assets that will be attached within that process. As ever, if any of this doesn't make any sense, or if that makes you nervous, then you raise a ticket, support@consonance.app. We're here to help, and we're here to help you get the most out of exciting sort of batch tools like this. But the first time, it can be nerve-wracking. So definitely ping us, and we're very, very excited and happy to walk the path with you. We've just talked about ePubs there, ebooks there. The next bit here says the system also assumes that if you are uploading an image file with an extension of JPEG or JPEG or PNG or TIFF or TIFF, it will be a cover. So again, if you've got a file of those types and you put the ISBN 13 in the title of in the file name of the file, then the system will process those files and associate them with the right product. You know, definitely an exciting feature. Definitely want to measure twice, cut once. Check that you have uploaded. Check that you've named your files correctly, I suppose, if you're going to be using this approach. Just a note there that it doesn't matter whether you put hyphens in the ISBN 13 in the file name or not. This Consonance is going to match a hyphenated ISBN or a non-hyphenated ISBN. I can't actually remember if it would work with spaces, but it's a bit weird to have spaces in a file name, so I'm not sure. We might have to try that. And see if it works. So those are some sort of cautionary hand-wringing worries about making sure that you name the files correctly, because those are going to be used to match your data to the existing records within Consonance. Very exciting, very, effective. So uploading files, what does it say? Upload the highest resolution images that you have available. The system looks for an ISBN number in the file name. The image attaches to the product with that ISBN 13, and also all of the products of the same work for convenience. And we also do this thing, so it's called post-processing. We're saying upload the highest resolution image because we can do lots of different things with a really high resolution image like that. So when you upload an image to Consonance, some code runs in the background and it kind of makes variants of that original image. And it means that when we display your images back to you on Consonance's pages, we're not loading a massive 9 meg TIFF file every time, which would grind your computer to a halt. We're loading the tiny little thumbnail that's appropriate for the task at hand. So that's great for us to be able to render web pages in an efficient manner. But what we also do is then have copies of that cover image available to send out to your data recipients in whatever format they need. And if you remember talking about batches on previous videos, if you add all of your products if you add a variety of your products to a batch, there's a part of that page which allows you to zip up the covers, and then zip them up in different sizes, different heights, different resolutions, even different colour spaces. So, we'll have a look at that another day, because I've promised myself this is going to be a deep dive about one thing. We're not going to dive over and do different things. But, there is this ability of Consonance to be able to make a number of different variants from that one original file. So, really, if you want to make the most of that feature, then upload the highest resolution images that you have available. We don't talk here, I don't think, about colour space. I would always try to upload RGB to a computer system, because we're talking about displaying these images on a screen. And as you'll know, RGB colour space uses light, CMYK uses ink, print. So if you upload a CMYK colour space image file, Consonance will take it, but it's going to process those colours in the best way it sees fit. And sometimes that can brighten them, sometimes it can dull them, and sometimes that can even be perceptible. So I would prefer to upload my images in a colour space that I feel is going to be more controlled by my own processes, rather than uploading them and fingers crossed that the green doesn't blow out or something. So if you do see some funny results from a file upload, then check the original colour space. But I mean, this is very much edge case territory. It's very rare that you would have the front cover image ready for your metadata management system, and it would be CMYK. You know, that's consigned to the print files region. But you know, like I say, if you've got CMYK, it won't stop you. It just might have unintended consequences. No one wants that. So what else do we say here? Yes, so once you've selected your files, click on Upload Files. Your files will be queued, ready for uploading. So that's an interesting note about how many files you can upload at one time. The system isn't going to time out, because this is one of those processes where, you know, you could be uploading your 500 backlist audiobooks that you've decided you've got into a good situation you want to upload and disseminate to some aggregators, and those are huge files. So you know, you can very readily imagine a web page timing out, you know, before it had even dealt with the first file. So what this file uploader page does is take all of the files that you say you want to upload, and then puts them into a background job. I can't think of a non-codey way to say it, but that's what it does. It creates a new thread, a new process that is only intended to work through that list of files that you want to upload, and you know, keep on streaming them up until they've all been persisted. And then it can say, and then the system can say back to you, okay, that's been uploaded, that's all done. So what that means is that you will see just a few files that have uploaded. That will happen pretty quickly. If you've got a few files but they're absolutely enormous, then that will take however long your internet connection will let it take. And if you've got lots and lots of files that are huge, then you know, you set it going and the system will trundle through until it's done. And we'll be looking at notifications to see, and different ways to see what the process has been, and you know, which files have uploaded okay. Yeah, in fact, there we go. So check the file associations is the last bit on the docs there. It says a notification appears when your files are done. And once uploading has completed, you can see them on the uploaded files page. So this page is sort of like it's the staging place, isn't it? You drag your files here. This is where they upload. But once they've uploaded, they sort of disappear from here because you don't want to upload them again. So it's the uploaded files page where we'll visit to see the end result of the uploading process. So that's all super. So I think what we'll do, having had me read you all of that, is do some uploading. And what I have prepared earlier, I went through my files on my system, just trying to find one of everything. Just lots of interesting different examples of files that we can upload. So, and I'll just take you through it briefly. We'll sort by type of file there. So the first one we've got is an Adobe Illustrator file. It's not very big. The type of file is recognised by the file system, so it's well formed, and that will upload fine. The next one down is an Adobe Photoshop file, and again that one will upload fine. But neither of those files have a file type like we read about in the documentation. Consonance is not going to assume that these are cover files. Remember, it says the system is over on the docs here. The system assumes if you're uploading an image file with an extension of JPEG, PNG, TIFF or TIFF, that's an image. That's a cover file. So these might be image files or image adjacent files, but they're not in a format that the supply chain is going to recognise as being an acceptable format. I mean, you can't send a Photoshop file to Amazon with the cover in. they'll just reject it. But it's completely valid to want to store your sort of archived print ready files next to all of your other data in Consonance. So you can absolutely upload it to Consonance. But from a metadata dissemination point of view, we're not going to make any assumptions outside of these, properly imagey extensions that this is a cover image. So, and this is why I'm sort of uploading lots of different files of different flavours here to show, well, you can upload them, but they're used for different reasons. The next file type down is a CSV, and we've been looking at content and artwork files. It's super unlikely that a CSV is going to be a content or an artwork file, but one can't make too many assumptions. It may be that you have a CSV that's associated with the content of your product. Who knows? So it's going to be uploaded as a file. It can be associated with a work and with a product, but there's going to be no processing. There's going to be no assumption that this is a cover, that this is the body of the work or anything. It's a file type that is irrelevant to updating your contacts with the covers that go with the bibliographic data. Next one down though is looking a lot more relevant. This is a .epub on the end. It's got copy in the title, sorry about that, because I copied it. And I copied it because I wanted to jam in an ISBN 13 into the file name. So this file and the next file down, they're the same. It's the same type of file. I've duplicated one, and I've put an ISBN in the file name so that we can see Consonance at work, marrying up an EPUB via the ISBN 13 to the record that already exists in Consonance. So there's pre-work here, isn't there? If you've got a file full of perfectly finished ePubs or your cover images, but you haven't yet put the product data into Consonance with the correct ISBN 13, do that first, and then you get the benefit of this mapping without having to manually attach all of these content files and artwork files. So that seems like a sensible bit of workflow. Get your ISBNs in first, and there's a number of different ways you can check that that's happened. Again, I'm determined not to deviate and go off on the menu over here, but you could look on checks to see how many products are missing an ISBN. You could go to Data Exchange and CSV exports, dump out the entire list of your products into Excel, sort it by the ISBN column and see what's missing. Any number of ways to check that your ISBNs are in. And in fact, if Consonance if you upload your cover image and it's got an ISBN in the title, but there's no match in Consonance, then that's another way to say, oh, haven't done that work first. So you can absolutely iterate around this process. What's the next one? The next one is an HEIC, which all I know is that's a file name that happens on my iPhone, and I don't actually know what it is. I know it's broadly image adjacent. So we'll have some fun with that, won't we? We'll upload it. We'll see if an HEIC, which actually Finder thinks is an HEIF. Don't know what either of them means, so it's slightly academic. We'll see what they do with an imagey file. Then we have a lovely vanilla JPEG that has an ISBN in the file name. That seems quite vanilla and quite likely that that's going to simply marry itself up to its corresponding record in Consonance. We've got another JPEG, apologies, this time without an ISBN in the file name. See what that does. Then we've got a .key file here. So I'm on a Mac, and this is a Keynote file, like the PowerPoint but for Mac application. Adding that in just so that we can see what happens when a rather sort of non-publishing relevant file format gets attached. I don't know. Also, it's like nearly 60 meg as well, so that'll be fun to watch. You know, the process with which Constance trundles through that. Got a random XLSX here. This is the sort of file that you would expect to upload to the imports area, isn't it? Because that's tabular data that needs to be parsed and processed into the database itself. And this is not the right place for it, but we're going to be able to upload it nevertheless, so we'll enjoy looking at what happens there. Then we've got a docx with no ISBN in title, so we'll see what happens there. We've got a couple of PDFs. One says ebook in the file name, but no ISBN. And another one doesn't have anything in the file name, it's just a PDF. So, you know, you'll be thinking, well, that's going to upload, but it's not going to associate with any work or any product. And you'd be absolutely right. Then we've got an extremely odd looking file because the suffix, the file type is .screenflow. So this is like a proprietary type of information. God, don't open it. And ScreenFlow is a bit of software I use to do videos for YouTube, or to put adverts together and that sort of thing. So it's 73 meg. It's not known as being a particularly publishing usual file. So we'll see what happens with that. Then we've got a TIFF file. Oh, and I've popped an extra dot in the file name so we can see if that gets handled okay. Then I have an audio file, because I mentioned earlier about audio files being a frequently uploaded thing to Consonance. This one is a recording of my cat purring, which is very publishing adjacent, but we are feline pressed, you know, so something relevant there. Here's an XML file, and normally we think of XML files as being the format of the files that go out in Onyx. You know, an Onyx file can be suffixed with .xml, or for some recipients .onx, I guess. Some content management systems emit their content files in XML, and so it's completely normal to want to upload those. So we'll see what happens there. And then finally we've got a zip file at the bottom. Zip files and ePubs, they're kind of the same thing, but you know, there's proprietary file naming there. So we'll see what happens to a bog standard regular, like sewing pattern for some reason, zip file that's going to go in there, and it's not tiny, but it's not vast as well. So a whole sort of range of different sorts of files. So let's do the next bit of the process then, and just upload them all in one big go and see what happens. So I'm going to select them all like that, and as we can see here, you know, it says to get started, select files to upload, or drag and drop the files here. So since I've got my Finder open, I am going to drag and drop the files here. And the whole page kind of goes green for a minute, so you know that you can drop these anywhere here and it's going to be fine. So I'll just release and let go, and then if I open up the thing here, then I can see that all of these files have been updated here. Have been sort of staged here, and now my purple button at the bottom of the screen says, well, we can see that there's 18 files that you're trying to do something with, so you can upload 18 files if you want to. So this is your chance to eyeball it and think, oh my goodness, now I've added in, I don't know, the wrong folder or something, but I haven't. I'm fairly happy that I've done that right. So I'll upload 18 files, and then you can see that depending on the different size of the files, they're going to either zoom through and be really, really quick, or they're going to take their time and trundle through. And when they've uploaded, they've uploaded. So there's a bit of a status indicator to show you what's going on. But that can, you know, either be left to finish or left to carry on, and you can just watch it making progress and see that all of the files are uploaded. And so we can just scroll down this list and see, upload completed. The green tick indicates that all is well there. Upload complete, and then interesting, do you see? ePub magic .screenflow, the upload has failed. So if you manage to find a file type that is so peculiar that the system is not going to handle it, then it will tell you at this stage. So there won't be any sort of silent failures of you sort of scrabbling around thinking, where's my upload gone? So looking at this notification here is really useful. But all of the others have done a good job of uploading, so we're satisfied that that's worked out okay. And so you'll remember that in the background now, things have burst into life, and there are worker background jobs going through and processing anything that can be processed from the files that have just been uploaded. And one of the places to look at the process here is in notifications. Whilst I've been talking, we've had 3 notifications appear, and it's telling us that there's a couple of things that have uploaded, but they have not been matched to an existing record in the system. So this is interesting and important because we've uploaded the image to the system, the file now is in the system, but it's not associated with the work or the product. So there's extra work to do if you haven't put the ISBN 13 in the file name. So we'll let the system run through its background processes, but let's have a look at the ones where we did upload an image to the system and we had an ISBN 13 in the title. Let's search for that ISBN and see how it's going. And so here is the image that we just uploaded, and if we go to the metadata page and the files, we can see that because we put the ISBN 13 in the file name, it's been able to marry up the file with the record. And if we click on expanded view here, we can see that background worker job has extracted all of this good stuff out of the metadata of the file itself. So look at this, it's extracted out the dimensions, it's got the aspect ratio, it knows what sort of file type it is, there's its file name, it's kept a record of when we did all of this, and you can get your file out as well. So you can download that file back to your desktop, or do something with it. So it's a file that has been uploaded to our asset storage area, and also has been processed, and we can see a nice thumbnail at a relevant size in this view. And now when we want to send that out in Onyx, this is a file that can be emitted at the right dimension, because there are now multiple variants, the right dimension for whichever recipient it is. So if we wanted to see even more information about this file, then this link here will take us to that particular area. So I'm going to click on file name here, and we'll go and see any more information about this file. And you can get to this file, this page, whether you upload files in the way that we've just done, or whether you upload them one by one on the metadata page where we just came from. And when you come here, you can see, some of these interesting extra layers of information unfolding before you. So we've got our JPEG preview there. We know that that's the work that we've just come from. We've got more information that we can add, and I can say that I got that from Unsplash to credit our photographer properly. We can put a caption in if we want. We can you know, optionally think, oh, actually, you know, I want to change it to a different work or additional products, and change that image if we want to. So there's, you know, more opportunity here to layer on information. I'm just going to show you these other two menus that are available just for this one, this image. We call them supporting resources. It's quite an onyxy word. It is an asset, a resource that is intended to support your bibliographic metadata information, so supporting resource. Now, of course, because there is no such publisher as Feline Press, and we do not have Onyx feeds set up accordingly, we don't have any transfers that we're going to be sending out. But if you do, you would come to this file at this page, and you would see some information about when this file has been transferred to your recipients. So if you're thinking, wait a minute, Onyx is an XML file, which is like, you know, tag, information tag, and it's effectively a text file. How does an image get included with that? All very odd. And the way it works is that, well, the way it usually works is that there's a media file link within the Onyx XML file. That looks like a URL, like a hyperlink. It's a location where the image exists, and recipients can get the image file from that location. So that's one way of saying this is the file that goes with this file. The other way, and a way that we do for a vast number of our clients, is to FTP the image files themselves at the same time as sending the XML file. So the whole transmission has one XML file, and if that XML file contains 20 product records, then there'll be 20 JPEGs also sent. And the process is, I mean, it's quite mechanical, really. You know, we kind of ring up the recipient and say, we've got some data for you. I mean, I don't mean ring up. I mean, you know, I'm trying to use good words at several. We start a transmission, and first of all we say we've got an XML file, and we post that over, and then we switch directory into an images folder, and then we post the images file over the phone line. So the whole transmission has, you know, can have images and audio files and XML files. I mean, I should just show you the page, shouldn't I? It looks a bit like this. You know, this is a screenshot, because this is a page where there aren't any media transmissions, but we put a screenshot on to show you what might be. And this is what it would look like if we had sent, you know, this cover image to gardeners, and then they would also get the XML file that goes along with it, that one to Amazon, and then these two images to Bowker. And then you can follow through, you know, we'll cover this in a proper Onyx deep dive, but you can follow through who got what and when, in a really nice audit trail. So that's how these image files get sent in what you'd think would be a text-based format. It's pretty cool, really, because then, you know, it is a different sort of data, but of course it's probably it's an absolutely vital type of data, the image. The next bit on this page to do with this one supporting resource is versions. And I was talking earlier about going to the batches page, and there you'll be able to zip up all of the images in particular format for all of the products in the batch. What we've got here is that, but just for this one image. And so you can see, you know, the original file is down at the bottom here, and then all of the others have been created from that by Consonance. So right at the top here, we've got that file, but in the RGB colour space, JPEG format, 50 width, and then, you know, 75 and 250 and all of that. We've converted it into CMYK as well, and those are at the original size. So it's really good. You know, it's a really nice time saver. I'm absolutely fascinated to know what the CMYK effect has been. I mean, it might just look completely normal, but let's see. So I've downloaded that to my my desktop. Open with preview, why not? And it looks the same to my eyes. Let's have a look at one of these little ones, this 250 width, and go there, right mouse, open with preview. I mean, the CMYK might have a bit of a dulling down maybe, but yes, so you know, those processes have been created from the original, so it behooves you to upload the highest resolution, largest file that you can get to start with, and then all of these ones that are produced from that effort stand a chance of being really good. So that is, we dived straight in and just looked at one of those images that's been uploaded. Let's go though back to the page that we were urged to go to, which is the uploaded files page. There was a link from the file uploader page, but I'm going to go to it directly. It's on production, uploaded files, and we see the results of the files that we've uploaded. The only one that's processed is that JPEG one that's processed into a thumbnail, because all of the others are not recognised as cover images, and that's exactly right, because that was the one that had the ISBN in the title, and the ones that were image files but didn't have an ISBN in the file name, they do not appear here. They have not been uploaded into Consonance. The others have, because you know, we can't be sure that a Keynote file or a zip file or a WAV file is not relevant. But you know, that's the effect of uploading those JPEGs and PNGs and things. If you don't put an ISBN in the file name, then we're not going to have them all here. So that is how it works. But we've got the PDFs have come in okay here. We've got the first of the ePubs there, and that has not been attached to anything. But that same copy of that ePub, where I did put the ISBN into the file name, that has been successfully associated with the product record with the matching ISBN. So, you know, for really this whole hour is about, if you want the system to automatically match your ePubs, or your ebooks, and your cover image files, put the ISBN in the file name, and that's what will happen. I should really stop there, shouldn't I? Because that's kind of the nub of it. You can see all of the others are sitting there, but they haven't got their associations. Whilst we've been talking, my kind colleague has looked up, or probably knows of in his own head what this means. HEIC, I am told, means High Efficiency Image Codec, and HEIF means High Efficiency Image File Format. So we have all learnt something today, which is absolutely excellent. So that's it really. That's how files get uploaded. This does not mean that you can't upload files one by one. If we go to our Cats of Scotland record here, you know, we've got our artwork file, we've got our ebook file that's uploaded, but we can still layer on more files of all of these different types, and marry them up. If we wanted to import, for instance, a whole bunch of promotional event material, what you can do is label the file names with the ISBN 13, bearing in mind that the system is going to mark them as front covers, but then come here and change the type to the type that is appropriate. And if you are going to do that, then before doing that, I would probably turn off Onyx by going here and toggling Onyx off, so that the wrong file type doesn't go out to the wrong person. And you can also contact us and ask for advice about any, edge case projects that you've got in mind like that. It's always, like I say, it's better to measure twice, cut once. So that is it, I think, for uploading files in bulk. We are not going to be doing a live stream this time next week for exciting event-based reasons. But the following week we shall be back again, and we'll be carrying on doing deep dives, looking at the next in the series. Let's have a I think it's to do with workflow next week. I might reserve judgment actually on which one we will exactly do, because I might look at the wonderful suggestions that came in from our client, and if there's anything that we can do on that, then we might bump those topics up the chart a little bit. So won't see you next week, but I will see you the week after for an exciting mystery deep dive. What will it be? Remember, like and subscribe to find out. Excellent. Well, thanks very much again for watching. Any thoughts, suggestions, feedback, definitely drop us a line, support@consonance.app, and we'll see you next time.